Hello everybody, this is Jay from Mod&J, and today we got here the review video of the HTC Galaxy Note 4, which I got from iBaby888, and this is the version running the MTK6582. It has a real 5.7-inch display with a resolution of 1280 by 720 pixels. If you look here on the front, we're going to see that on the very top you have the Samsung logo, the ear speaker, the proximity and light sensor, together with the 2-megapixel front-facing camera. And on the left side, we're going to have also the notification LED. On the bottom, we're going to have the menu key, the home button, and also the back key. If you look here on the left side, we're going to find the volume rockers. On the bottom is going to be the charging/data port together with the two microphones. Now, one of them is going to be fake, and we also got the S Pen. On the right side, we're just going to have the power button. On the top, we're going to have a rear IR blaster, and yes, this is working perfectly well. We have what appears to be a secondary microphone and the 3.5mm headphone jack. On the back here, we're going to have the 8-megapixel rear-facing camera. Now, this heart rate monitor, even though it looks very nice built, it is fake. It's not going to work. We also got the LED flash, the Samsung logo, and finally, the loudspeaker. Now, let's go ahead and open the back here. We're going to find the battery. The battery is a 2000 milliamp battery, supports single SIM, single standby. It is also a WCDMA 2100 and 850, so it's only going to support 3G here in the USA with AT&T or any other company that works with AT&T like Net10, Straight Talk, Cricket, and so on. We also got here the TF card slot, and it is working perfectly well. And we can also compare here, guys, that the overall build of it is very similar to the original device. As a matter of fact, I got here my original Samsung Galaxy Note 4. Let's go ahead and remove the back. And here we can compare, both of them are very similar when it comes to the build quality. Now this one looks a little bit more yellowish and this one is a little bit more grayish. But other than that, they're very similar. We can see that the screws, everything is perfectly aligned. And also another great news is that we can fit the batteries on each other. So let's say that in this case, we're going to remove the battery of the original product, which is the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. And let's take out the battery of the replica. We're going to compare here that they're just a little bit different when it comes to the thickness, but the connectors are exactly the same. So let's go ahead and connect the original battery here with the replica. And we can see, guys, that it does fit. Now the casing on the back is going to go on a little bit tight. That's the only inconvenience of it. But if you guys do have patience, you can get it on there easily. So let's go ahead and install here the original battery back on here. And now let's put the back cover on. Also, some great news is that we can fit the original cases from the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 into the HTC Galaxy Note 4, the same thing we saw from the MTK6582 model. And we can see that the buttons, everything aligns perfectly well, and that's the great news about this. And this is a hard shell case, and now we're going to fit it on the original device, of course, so that you guys can see that I'm not cheating. And here we can see that all the way around, everything is perfectly aligned as well. On the bottom, we can see here the S Pens are exactly on the same position. And as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and remove them so that we can also compare the S Pens. Now the buttons are going to be very similar. This one clicks as well as this one, but on the white one, which is the replica, it doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. And now also we can notice that the original doesn't have the logos, just like the replica one. And of course, the original one is going to be much faster when it comes to the boot logo. That's because this is running the Snapdragon CPU 805, and this is only the MTK6582, which is a quad-core processor. So here we can see the similarities already when it comes to the boot screen. This one has the T-Mobile logo as well. And here we have the actual boot screen of both of them. We can see how similar they are, except that this one has the camera toggle, and it also has the emergency phone toggle on the left side. This one doesn't have it. And of course, this one is also going to support fingerprint, something that we don't have on the replica. So here we can also compare the UI of both of them are very similar. They're almost identical except for the fonts and some other applications, like the camera is a little bit bigger on the replica. And also this is going to have a 720p display versus this one is going to be a 2K resolution screen. So let's go ahead and put the original aside. And this is also running the Android 4.2.2, even though it's been interpolated to show as if it was the original Android 4.4.4, but that's going to be fake. If you go here to About Phone, we can see that yes, it is showing the Android 4.4.4, but trust me, guys, that's going to be fake. And the reason I noticed that is because when I went to the Play Store and I tried to download Google Camera, which I'm going to try to find right now. Okay, and here it is. Google Camera only works with Android Kitkat and above. And we can see that on this specific model, it says your device isn't compatible with this version. And that's because, again, we have the Android 4.2.2. It is a Jelly Bean device. but it's performing very well. It doesn't lag and also supports air gestures, as you guys can see. It comes with 1 GB of RAM, 8 GB of internal storage, which we can also upgrade with a TF card. If you look here into the app tray, we can see many similarities here with the original device, as I just showed you guys. And also we got here the kids mode, and this application is only going to let your kids access certain applications like the camera, the notes, the video player, the pictures, and also the music. To exit, all you have to click is on this little door. You have to input your password and it's going to go back to its original settings. Also, we got here the Antutu benchmark. The Antutu benchmark gave me a score of about 18,000, which is normal for the MTK6582. Again, this is a quad-core processor, and here we can see the scoring. It was almost 19,000. If you go here to details, we can read all the scoring that it got. Let's go back once. Let's go to devices information, and here we can see the remaining of the information. Again, it is faking a lot of the information. First of all, this is not going to have the Android 4.4.4. We already know that. And let's go ahead and scroll down. We can see here that the processor is showing as if it was the Qualcomm, which is the Snapdragon CPU, but that's also going to be fake. This is running the MTK6582. We can see here on Android SDK version, it is showing as Android 4.2. So that means that yes, this is going to be the Android Jelly Bean. If you continue going down here, we can see some of the sensors supported. Also, we can confirm all the sensors supported. If you go here to Android Sensor Box, which I believe I have downloaded somewhere around here, and here we have it. Let's go back once. We can see that the only ones not supported is going to be the temperature sensor, the gyroscope, the pressure sensor, but we have most of them supported on here, and that's also great. Now, the next thing we're going to test here is going to be the camera. The camera on this device is pretty good, considering that it is only an 8 megapixel rear sensor, even though it is claimed to be 13, but that's going to be fake. So please check the next footage and let me know what you think. Hello, what's going on everybody? This is Jay, and today we're testing here the HTC Galaxy Note 4, and this is the version with the MTK6582. And here we can notice that the camera, the stabilization is not too good, and also the autofocus. Sometimes you have to stop completely, then tap on the screen to get that perfect autofocus. But other than that, the colors appears to be pretty realistic, and the overall quality is very nice, as we can notice right here. The sound appears to be working well, or let's call it the microphone. Is very sensitive as well. Now let's test the front-facing camera. And finally, here we have the front-facing camera. This is going to be the 2 megapixel one, and we can also notice that the quality is not so great. It is a little bit choppy, and the colors are a little bit washed out, and also the focus, you have to tap on the screen to get the autofocus as well. But at least it's going to be decent enough for Skype, selfies, or any other social medias that you guys like to use it for. It is going to work properly. But again, it is not the best quality out there. Okay, and there we have it for the camera. And if you open the actual software itself, we can see that the UI is almost identical to the original phone. And also, we can see we have the settings on here. If you go to the camera options, we can see that again, it has been interpolated to be 13 megapixels, but that's going to be fake. Like I said before, this is going to be an 8 megapixel rear facing camera, and also the front facing camera, I believe, is going to show 3.7. Let's go ahead and find out. Let's switch here to the front facing camera. There we go. And now let's go to settings. Let's go to pictures. And we can see that again, it is claimed to be 5 megapixels, but the front facing camera is going to be a 2 megapixel. But now it is working perfectly well, and I was overall satisfied with it. And again, guys, I gotta say that this phone for $165, it is absolutely phenomenal. Also, the remote control is working perfectly well, and all you have to do to open it, you go here into where it says Smart Remote, and then to set it up, right now I have my LG TV set up. So again, to set it up, all you have to tap here is on plus. You have to select your product, then you select the brand, and then after that you have to try and see which code is going to work, and all you have to do is press the power button until your TV turns on. If not, you just continue going to the next one. Let's see here, all we do is swipe. And as you can see right now, the LG has about 19 codes, and it works with many different brands, which I'm going to show you guys here. We can see, let's go all the way to the top. You can see all the brands supported. It is thousands of them. It goes in alphabetical order, starting from the A, B, C, and so on. Now the next thing I'm going to talk about is going to be the GPS. The GPS on this device is working. Now the only thing is that right now it is running a bug, and I think that has to do with the software. Maybe in the future we're going to get an update, or maybe I can find a fix for it. Right now I tried rooting it and also installing faster GPS, but that didn't work. Now it is reading the satellites, but I cannot get it to lock a signal. As you guys are going to see here, it's reading many of them. Right now I have 13 inside of the house. I tried numerous times to try to get it working, and I seen this issue before. So that could be maybe, like I said, a software glitch. In the future we might get a software update, and of course I'll keep you guys updated. And a lot of you may be wondering, what's this code on the top where it says 4G? You might be thinking that this is supporting 4G, but that's going to be fake, and there's a code for it. As a matter of fact, I tried doing it already and I mistyped it, but the code is *##9228 #*#, and you're going to see that it's going to give us the option to switch the boot animation, also the language, which I really didn't get this one. It says only foreign language or full language. I guess that it's going to give you more languages supported on the device. We can also change the volume. It says here 16 or 32 gigabytes. I guess that's for the internal storage. We got here the fake 4G. We can just show it as normal, which is the H+, or the fake 4G symbol, which we see right here. We can also change the IMEI, and now this one at the bottom, I really don't know what it does. I didn't dare to bother with it because I might, break the device or do something that I really don't want to do. And now this phone also has a very good battery. As you guys can see, right now I have full battery, but yes, I did charge it recently and I charged it for this review, but I was able to get throughout the whole day. And by the end of the day, which to me, the end of the day is around 9 o'clock, it's the time that most people get home. I went to work around 9 o'clock, so that's a full day. It's almost 12 hours right there, and I was able to get home with about 45%, and that was doing the GPS test, which I wasn't successful. I did the camera test, gaming test, you name it. Every kind of test that you guys can do to a phone, I did it on this device. And again, I got home with about 45%, so I think that's absolutely outstanding. And a lot of that has to do because it is still a 2000 milliamp battery, and the resolution is only a 720p display, so that's going to give you sufficient power to go throughout the whole day. And the next thing we're going to test here is the browser. Let's go ahead and open here, let's say eBay. Let's go ahead and reload this page. Let's click on go, and we can see that right now Wi-Fi, of course, is going to work perfectly well. Let's try the same thing here with YouTube. I think it's going to prompt us here to Google. Let's go ahead and tap on it, and we're going to notice how fast it is. So the browser, for the most part, is going to work like many other Android devices. Okay, and now that we have turned off the Wi-Fi, let's go ahead and take this time to check here all the toggles that we have available. Again, we have the GPS, data connectivity, auto rotation, and we can see many of them. Now this time at least they took the NFC out because this device is not supporting NFC, so most of these toggles are going to work perfectly well, and that's the great news about this phone. Also, if you go here to settings, we can see we have either the list option, or you can change it to the grid option, which is very similar to the Samsung Galaxy S5. Now going back to the browser, we can see that right now we are on the 4G, which is H+. Let's go ahead and reload YouTube, and then we're going to open some other websites as well. So there we can see that the reloading took about, it usually takes about 5 seconds, no more than that. Let's open here dhgate.com. It's going to take us to Google. That's because I'm doing it the lazy way. And let's open here the link. And we're going to notice, guys, I mean, it's not, like I always say, it's not going to be 4G LTE, but at least it's going to do its job, and for the most part it is working well, as we can notice right there. So the next thing we're going to do here is go ahead and test the Bluetooth. Here I have my little Bose speaker. Let's go ahead and power on. Right now it is in Perry mode. Actually, right now it's in Perry mode. Now let's go here to settings, which we can access here from the top. Let's go to Bluetooth. Let's turn it on, and right now it says connected. So let's go back once, then let's go to sounds, which in this case, there we go, we have it right there. Let's go to settings, and let's check the quality. Right now it's off. The loudspeaker on this device is outstanding. Okay, and another thing we're going to talk about is going to be the S Pen. The S Pen on this device, even though it is working, it does encounter a lot of bugs like any other Android clone out there. Every time we open here, let's say the S Notes, and we exit out of it, we're going to see that we're not prompted to the air command. We had to insert the S Pen and take it out again, and that's the only inconvenience of it. Also, we got here gesture control on this device, and it is working perfectly well. Let's say every time you put the phone on sleep mode and you want to wake it up to open certain applications, let's say for instance the letter C is going to open the camera, as we can see right there. Also the letter O, I think that one is going to open the calculator if I'm not mistaken. Now you can change all of these on settings. If you go here to settings, let's put it on list option, as it does make it a lot easier. We scroll all the way to the bottom where it says motions and gestures, gesture recognition. And here we're going to see that right now we have, I would say, about 9 of them available. And the C is for camera, the O for calculator, the W for sound recorder. Now you can edit these. If you tap on here on edit, you guys can see that we can set it up to any application that we want to. And the great news is that you can also use applications that you have recently downloaded, which in my opinion, I think is absolutely outstanding. If you tap and hold this home button right here, you're prompted here to the task killer, which you can basically slide to the left, or you can simply hit this little X button on the bottom and it's going to kill all of them. So with that being said, the next thing we're going to do here is play with some applications and games so that you guys can see the overall performance. So please enjoy the music on the background. Alrighty guys, and there we saw some of the performance of this device, and as we can tell, it is not disappointing whatsoever. It's one of the best Samsung Galaxy Note 4s as of now. Again, we gotta test the one with the MTK6592, which is coming, I believe, next month or so. But this one, for the price, I think is performing very well, and the overall weight of it is very nice. It feels just like the original device, and as a matter of fact, here I have my weight scale so that we can prove that. Let's go ahead and turn it on. and I believe that on default it's going to be in grams. And there we can see that the replica is about 203 grams and the original is going to be about 180 grams. So there we can see, guys, that the replica is much heavier, just like I told you guys before, and that's because of the frame of it. For some reason, it's a little bit thicker than the original device, making it feel very nice and solid. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do now is test here the phone call. Let's go ahead and dial 611. Let's put it on loudspeaker.
For English, press 1. Para español, presione 2.
Let's test the proximity sensor. Now, it is not as sensitive as other devices that we've seen before, but at least it's going to do its job for the most part, and it is working well. Alrighty, guys, and I think we have covered everything about this device, but like always, if you guys do have any questions, please don't forget to comment down below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.